We are in Ponca, and we saw this on the side of the road when we were headed to the Ponca Access. It is the Boxley Valley Historic District. Beaver Gym Boyhood Home. Was built in 1850. That's neat. So here's the Buffalo River. Here's where we are. There's Ponca. Somebody's super loud going by. It's crazy that any of it's still standing after that long. Think how small that house was too. You can tell where they used a hatchet, I guess. All the marks. Oh, it's still got the fireplace. Neat. A lot of work somebody put into this at one time. Nice big fireplace. I wonder how many kids they had here. I need to go back and read that sign. Close to the river. Here's another door. I don't know what this was. Little barn with stalls. Little pen. Cool. That little gate right there. Neat little homestead. Look at all these beams that went across. They notched all that out. Looks like a ladder on the back. Outside of the chimney. Crispy waiting in the car. It's hot out. This looks like a little storage or woodshed or something. Get one last look. Alright, we're off to explore something else. Here is another part of the Boxley Historic Area District, I guess. Boxley Valley, preserving a way of life. When establishing the Buffalo National River in 1972, Congress recognized the need to preserve the valley's culture as well as its free-flowing river. Here in Boxley Valley, a traditional farm community is being perpetuated within the borders of the Buffalo National River. To do this, the National Park Service and local citizens created a long-term plan to keep the valley privately owned to retain its historic integrity. The community spirit that has endured for more than 150 years is now preserving the Boxley Valley for generations to come. Boxley Valley is entered on the National Register of Historic Places, not only for its more recent cultural heritage, but also for the evidence the valley has yielded of 12,000 years of human occupation. These are some after Civil War frame dwellings that began to replace log homes. This is the descendants of the valley's 19th century settlers still work in the land of their forefathers. So I guess this was the valley where there were some homesteads, I guess, maybe? You can see the river bluffs like peeking through over there. Chris is gonna wade this river, not river, yes, river. Chris is gonna wade this river tomorrow while I'm cooking breakfast and enjoying our cabin. I also keep hearing about the elk along the Buffalo. What an exciting discovery to come across an elk roaming in the fields and woodlands of the Buffalo River country. Once again, these large members of the deer family can be found grazing or resting in clearings and open spaces. Right now it's like 4:30 in the afternoon and it's hot, so they are definitely not going to be out wandering around, but maybe this evening we'll get to see them. I would love to. Elk may weigh up to 800 pounds. The difference between an elk and a deer. Native to the hardwood forests of the Ozarks, an eastern subspecies became extinct by the 1840s. At the prompting of local citizens through the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, they were reintroduced along the Buffalo River in 1981. Okay, so we are definitely hoping to find some elk on this trip. So cool. All right, let's see what else we can find. Up on this, it says this is the Upper Buffalo Wilderness, Ozark remnants of early settlements. This is the Whitley School. It was a one-room school in the Buffalo River Valley until 1940s, and the fire claimed it in 97. And I think that's it right there. So this was their one-room schoolhouse. That's cool. Love all the history. Look at the view, like, surrounding this. I don't know what it is, if it's a well house or what. I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. And it's kind of creepy as well. But I gotta look at it. If somebody knows what this is, they can tell me, but it didn't say anything on the sign. Maybe like an old cellar. I'm obviously not going in that. Neat though, that it's still there. I think. So they're saying climbing and caving. I'm wondering if there's something over there. The Whitley School. Okay, around the corner from the school, seeing some old barns. There's some people though. This is the beginning of some kind of hike. Guess somebody's headed out hiking. Looks like where they used to load cows. You see how it kind of goes at an incline where you'd back up a trailer? So green right in here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's a bunch of people out there, so either they're going back there to a water or something back there. Way back there I can see them walking out. That old barn is cool. So beautiful here. Dead ends right there. Alright, let's see what else we can find. I've really got to get a different hat. I'm still rocking my Hawaii hat from Hawaii in February. I'm in the Ozarks, so I need a Buffalo River hat. So if I can find one tomorrow, I'll switch up my hats. This is a covered bridge. Super cute. I think it leads to somebody's house though, so I'm gonna just walk on it real quick. Aren't those rocks pretty? Her bridge is cool. Look at that. I think it's one of the cabins you can rent. It's just on the side of the road, almost to Ponca. Pretty.